The public library that I chose to visit is a small one. It resides in a middle-class area with subsidized housing just behind it. There is a slightly higher percentage of children under the age of 18 living in this city when compared to the average for the state. The department that I chose to focus on for this project was the Children's Department. On a previous visit to this library for a different class, I approached the information desk and asked for help finding certain children's books. Unbeknownst to me, I was talking to the children's librarian. On this visit, I was told that the staff at this library are somewhat stretched thin because of all the duties they take over in a single day. One librarian cited this as the reason she loves her job, because no 2 days are the same and you always have something to keep you busy. On that previous visit, the head of the children's department informed me that she could think of several children's books to fill my need, but that she was new to her position and that her predecessor was not into buying books that were not strictly traditional. She was able to help me with my project that day, but on further OPAC checks for other assignments, I have rarely been able to find what I need in that department. This library is a small one, and the children's area inside it is also small. The librarians have to make do with this small space. Only 3 computers are available for use in the children's area. This can be problematic when nearby families send their children to the library for 7 hours at a time, as has happened before. A donation from the Friends of the Library made a new early learning area for the Children's Department possible. So far, the children, parents, and librarians all love it. One librarian told me that it is important for them to be able to offer more than books and computers, especially with the limited space. This crosses over into programming at the library. Since there is not a lot of staff, story time is only offered once a week. However, the new head of the department has decided to spice up the old program. Her predecessor was not very lively with story time, and was even trying to teach the value of end papers to toddlers in one session. The new head of the department said that she gets surprised but positive feedback from parents, since her style is much more lively in interacting with the kids. Other programs are also very important to the staff. The head of the department works hard to offer new things for different ages, and comes up with cheap ideas when attendance is not certain. One such idea happened at the beginning of the school year, when the library was not able to get approval for their flyers inside the school in time. Because of this, the head of the department decided to use her own money to buy candy and made a very simple trivia room where the kids run to one corner or another based on their answer to a question and then get candy thrown at them if they are in the correct corner. The kids loved it, and it was a cheap and easy program which would not have been a total loss had only a few children showed up. Other programs at the library are usually filled to capacity, and the librarians can tell that their community really values the services and programs that they offer to them. When asked what the best and worst parts of her day were, the children's librarian answered the kids to both. Quote, "Kids are wonderful and awful," unquote. During a recent Lego club, the kids were asked to build something and add a description, which the library would then put on display. All of the boys decided to make what they dubbed murder houses. One boy's explanation said that the murder house had bombs all throughout it, and that they killed everyone. The librarian asked the boy to rewrite his description, and didn't notice until later that it now read, "They killed almost everyone." Despite this, the Lego Club brought the kids into the library, and also gave them a positive experience inside a library setting. A quote from Start with the Child, report of the Chartered Institute of Library and Information Professionals Working Group on Library Provision for Children and Young People reads, "Libraries are a hugely important part of children's and young people's lives because they bring books and children together. They provide reading opportunities free of charge, and so they encourage experimentation and learning." Bringing kids into the library is hugely important, but keeping them there is another important part for this library. Taking over a position in a small library where the former head of the children's department was not keeping up with professional development can be overwhelming. This librarian has cited excitement and progress in getting her department up to speed in today's library setting. The children's librarian and the library's management have shown an eagerness to introduce more programming, a children's assistant with an education background, and to spicing up old programs like story time. Although I did not observe the children's department while the previous head of the department was in charge, I can see an eagerness and excitement in this librarian when she speaks about bringing in new programs and new ideas to her area. She cites the children as the best part of her daily routine and understands that they serve families who might not have access to expensive educational tools outside of school. The head of children's wants families to want to keep coming back to the library, and from what I saw and heard during my visits, I would say that the public library is on track to continue achieving this goal. A quote from Kickstart Your Programming says, "Luckily, we're in a profession of information sharers, collaborators, and creative co-conspirators, also known as children's librarians. Just ask your colleagues, and within half an hour, you'll have armloads of exciting, inspiring new ideas."